They'll be calling you a radical. I got thinking about, I was so pissed off about, the RT putting this Malcolm Shield up there as nobody will give me a platform because I am the quintessential expert on Fukushima. I'll go toe-to-toe with anybody in the world. I used to eat, sleep, drink this. I literally sleep with it as I'm full of am leukemia. My tale is, anybody, you people know this tale. But I started thinking, well, fuck them. Why do I sit back and wait for somebody to give me a platform? I did my interview with Jack Durst. I don't want to be, as I say in the more exposed manner, post-ignorance. I've read it over and over. My movement, I'm going to do my own. I'm going to do my own. I'll do my own interview with my own freaking movement. I'm going to New York City, September at 2 o'clock at Washington Square, where it should be, where I tried to coincide post-ignorance with the 100th anniversary of the shirtwaist fire. Right there. That's where they burned to death. That's what gave us this empowerment of our working class, and that's what I'm doing. And my hierarchy, I'm not this. I'm not going to sleep out in the park. I'm not, and I want everyone to march with me. I'm not going to go against, I want the cops to march with me. I want the laid off Wall Street workers who algorithms sucked up to the top and destroyed that. I want them to march with me. I want this to be a friendly but loving but strong, powerful movement. The poetry and cordial conversations are dangerous. Passionate, intelligent arguments. My hierarchy, there's a reason it didn't happen then. Fukushima happened. Fukushima. So I'll go. I don't care if not one person. I want Occupy to march with me. I want Anonymous to march with me. I want the Peace Lover Cindy Sheehan's group to march with me. I want everybody to coincide, but it has to be there. It has to be at Washington Square. That's where every movement, every really worked happened. Everyone that really worked happened. And they all started with a very small group of people. As the shirtwaist fire is so iconic, there's a reason Fukushima happened 3/11/11, right before the 100th anniversary. And it changed my heart. It changed everything. As I got leukemia, AML leukemia, 6 months later, and was given less than a 1% chance to live. I want people to understand nuclear fallout. Oh, we have technology to cure cancer. I'm in the #1 bone marrow transplant in the world. It was a YouTube video that saved my life. Our survival rate, everybody in there's passed. Our survival rate is so low post-Fukushima. My doctors have verified it. I'm going to march from Washington Square with my post-ignorance sign and my science fiction economics as I have it. .com bubble, housing bubble, hope bubble. I'm going to march from there to Alexander Hamilton's grave at Trinity Church, the man who gave us tariffs. The Coast Guard, the first thing, to the Exchange Building right there, the foundation of this country that was founded, this country. Tariffs. Right there to New York Harbor. I'm going to march right there to Lookout Over Battery Park to the Statue of Liberty. This is a worldwide, and I don't care if one single person marches with me. Not one. Because I have this camera. And I have my army, and I hope this encompasses everybody. And I'm starting this movement over. Post-ignorance. I have a hierarchy. You know I've read my hierarchy of needs over and over. 1, tariffs. Why? We don't need to raise taxes in this country. We don't need to raise taxes in this country. We need to close loopholes for the corporate scum and allow them to quit. As Alexander Hamilton said, we need to empower, enlighten our populace. We are not the Queen system. We are the American system. We will use tariffs to stop cheap Chinese goods. The Chinese will still import, which the Chinese aren't the Chinese. They're American companies just using Chinese slaves. That's all they are. We will charge 45% tariff of any of their good. You know, you say, oh, my Walmart bill will go up. Good. So will your wages by 10 times. We want usury laws back in. We want antitrust laws enforced. We want white-collar criminals to be... We want equity in all. We want to empower our children and give them a chance to suck out and live. But we have a new hierarchy, #1 and foremost, to stop the genocide of the mighty blue Pacific. We want Fukushima entombed. The cover-up of Fukushima, riding at the levels raised. We want Gina McCarthy held accountable. We want the NSC. We want the nuclear industry that lies. As Megan Rice, we want her set free. She calls it nuclearism. We want the Patriot Act repealed, taking away all our rights. We want NSA gone. I mean gone. All of it. I have my hierarchy. And I'm going to go to Washington Square. I'll lay this out more in detail. September 20th at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. I'm going to start right there in Washington Square. This is going to be a peaceful, loving march with all encompassed and everybody with me. I want the police to march with me. I want the children to march with me. I want autism people. I'm autistic. I know why I'm autistic. Nuclear fallout. I want nuclearism to end. I want the freaking, all the spent fuel sitting on site in all these freaking 104 planes to be either put in the National Depository at Yucca Mountain or shot in your face. I want the nuclear history over. Over. I want Fukushima entombed. I'll lay this out more in detail. September, 1 o'clock, Washington Square. I'll march from there to the Trinity Church where Alexander Hamilton's grave is there, to the Exchange Building where we set up tariffs and the Coast Guard. I want the Coast Guard to march with me over to through Battery Park and look out over the Statue of Liberty. Stand tuned.
We need to get subscribed and get this unity stronger and beat YouTube at their own game. Okay, that's what this is about. Like I say, go to the remix button, hit the remix button. That way you'll have this video and keep up with this. Otherwise, you know, YouTube's just going to control us, guys, and it's really bad. Go to the remix button, hit the remix button. That way you'll have this video. Otherwise, you know, YouTube's just going to control us, guys, and it's really bad.
it will produce the greatest public health hazard the world has ever seen for the rest of time. We must close down every single nuclear reactor in Europe and throughout the world. If we go on and Libya gets a nuclear power plant and Iran and Saudi Arabia and they make bombs, America and Russia have thousands of nuclear weapons facing each other on hair trigger alert. Take half an hour to go from one to the other. There are 60 hydrogen bombs targeted on Moscow, 40 on New York. One bomb would vaporize all the people in New York. 40 on New York, 60 on Washington, many on Copenhagen. A nuclear war could happen tonight by error, computer error, or on 9/11, we almost launched a nuclear war in America because nobody knew what was happening. And they went from DEFCON 6 to DEFCON 2, and the men in the missile silos got their keys out, ready to turn the locks and start a nuclear war. So any country that blows up a city could initiate a nuclear war and produce nuclear winter with the earth covered with a cloud so thick it blocks out the earth, and you have a short ice age and the end of life on earth, and all the nuclear power plants melt down. So we have global warming here, which is a catastrophe, and we have the possibility of nuclear